something.
Okay, this is the interview with Steph Holmes. Steph Holmes is a hilarious comedian. Known her for many, many years. Also a very interesting person. Came here from the Midwest. Been in New York like 20 years. We sat on a bench in Central Park. Definitely a great time. You guys are going to enjoy it. Here is Steph Holmes.
Did you hear what that person just asked me? They're like, can I have a couple dollars to get a pastrami sandwich?
Wow, that was specific.
Yeah, and also like, pastrami's expensive.
That's right, you would know. You work in hospitality.
Yeah, the price of pastrami's out of control.
It's out of control.
You should just ask for money for a grilled cheese sandwich.
That's right. Well, this is exciting. Yeah, it's called, the podcast is called Do I Have Something? These mics actually work really well. You'll be impressed.
You mean like, do I have something like a good idea?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
syphilis?
Oh,
Okay.
that's funny. That's funny. That's great. Yeah, because Dan Goodman, the guy's like
Yeah.
shit on me for like probably 15 years, and he said that I'm actually, he thinks I'm a good interviewer, so that's why I've been
He
doing
shit on
this.
you by complimenting you and telling you that you're a
No,
good
that's the
interviewer?
only compliment he's ever given me in 15 years.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, all right, well maybe because I've only gotten this one compliment, maybe that's why I should do this. You know?
Okay. Well, thanks, Dan Goodman.
No problem. Walking with Steph Holmes here on very busy 7th
Avenue.
Having a great time. We're officially becoming elderly Jewish people by sitting in the park. Love it. We're gonna go to the podiatrist after this. This is not like a shticky interview. It's just like, I'm gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna talk. Don't feel any pressure for this to be like funny or anything like that.
Okay.
I have my notes. When we find a bench, I can pull out my notes.
All right.
My dossier.
Well, so would you like? Are these notes based off of things you already know about me? Things we've talked
Yeah,
about
well,
before?
yeah,
or
things
did
I've
you
talked
Google
before.
me?
No, I didn't Google you. I tried not to rely on that stuff.
There's nothing on there.
Yeah, we have a few segments that we're going to do.
Okay.
The podcast was also going to be called Robert Dean Wouldn't Do This, because Robert Dean said he wouldn't do it. So it's amazing how many people not that many, but a lot of people said flatly, no, I'll never do it. So
Your podcast?
yeah, isn't that wild?
Why?
I don't know.
Go quick.
I don't know why.
I will say, like, a lot of times when I do podcasts afterwards, I feel like, oh God, I said so many stupid things.
Right.
So I get it, kind of.
Right. I'm conscious of that too, but this isn't like a hot take podcast. This is like a get to know you podcast. Even though I already know you kind of well, which is kind of
Well, you know what's funny to me is comedians that don't want to do like virtual shows.
Right.
It's like, I hate it when I ask someone, like, especially like, right after the pandemic when we were doing a lot of Zoom shows.
Right.
And they'll go, oh no, I don't do shows on Instagram. I don't do shows on Zoom. It's like, but I know you. You will perform for no one.
Right.
I've performed on shows with you for 4 people.
Right.
But the internet, no.
Right.
That's where I draw the line. Okay.
That's funny. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do a Zoom show either, but I get what you're saying. You know what it is? I think it's some things you have to have a line. You have to have a line. We're walking through Mr. Softy. You know about Mr. Softy? It's like those guys are like mobbed up, or like they're very territorial. The Mr. Softy guys. You know about
I'm
this?
sure. No, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, if you come on, like they're very if you come on their territory, they get very. I gotta go to the east side, so let's cut east, or I don't want to take you to. Yeah, we'll just find a bench and we'll just.
We'll find a bench.
We'll go. Yeah, we'll find a bench. This is great. I get chafed, so I can't go much longer without.
When I first moved to New York, and I was like in my early 20s.
Yeah.
I used to come into New York or into Central Park with my friends late at night, and drink and run around like a crazy person.
Right.
Because I had this idea that it was like a really bad thing to do, and I was like, I'm bad. I go into Central Park at night.
Oh, I love this. Yeah. Were you 20? You weren't even 21.
I moved to New York when I was 18.
Right.
And when you're a cute girl, they let you into bars.
Right.
You don't need an ID. So
Yeah,
I did
right.
okay with all that.
I had a fake ID. I paid for it.
I never had a fake ID. I started doing comedy before I was even 21, and I remember I would like tell the bouncer, I'd be like, I'm on the show, you have to let me in.
Oh, right. That's amazing.
I'll just drink water, and then order vodka on the rocks.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'll tell you an embarrassing story. So I was like 19, 20 years old. I had a fake ID in Miami. And there was, I didn't even have a fake ID. I got in without being ID'd. and there was an attractive girl at the bar that I was like, hey, can I buy you a drink? You know, I thought it was a big shot.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
and the bartender asked for my ID for my credit card, and I didn't put, because I'm a moron, I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Oh,
And
it
then,
didn't match the name.
yeah. And then he saw that I was also under 21. So before I knew it, you know, while you have this, you know, you thought you're gonna hook up, you know, or talk to like a hot chick, I feel the scruff of my neck, just some massive guy, basically like right out of a movie, just like picked me up by my neck and just tossed me out like I was laundry. You know, right on the street. I mean, talk
pretty
about
great.
a high and a low at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple segments that we're gonna do.
Okay.
We can do the first one now and get out of the way. I have this new one that I'm doing where it goes all the AI in the world and I still can't. So it's like basically you think of something that is too that's unnecessarily complicated or isn't you know what I mean?
I have the
So
one. Great.
I can give you mine if you want to hear mine, if that gives you an idea.
Yeah. Okay. Give me some context.
All right, so
Give
like
me a
I'm getting
example.
divorced and I have to pull up my Zelle history for the last like 5 years, and I'm like, okay, I've been Zelling for, you know, a decade. This shouldn't be a big deal. It turns out Chase, because Zelle's a third party, only saves Zelle for a year. You have to go to Chase physically or put in a request, and they literally mail you your hard copy Zelle statements if anything past 12 months. So it's like all the AI in the world can't even get a Zelle statement past 12 months. You know, so that's mine, if that helps you at all. So.
Okay. I'll think about something.
Okay.
But I will say that like I have gotten to a point where I can't really think for myself, because even if I have a good idea, I will plug it into AI.
Oh, you do that?
And AI will be like, "That's a good idea."
Oh,
and
wow.
I'll go like, "Why did I need to?" Like I need AI's approval.
Oh, God,
or
don't
something.
tell me that.
And I kind of use it as a therapist. Like I'll be like,
Oh.
I'll like put something in, and I'll be like, "Isn't this fucked up? This thing that's happened?" And AI will be like, "Wow, that is really messed up. I'm sorry that you have to go through that."
No.
Like, and I'm like, "Wow, this is like therapy."
Oh my, are you a therapy person?
I have never
let's
been
start there.
to therapy, which
Because you strike me as like, if I had to sum you up in 2 words, I would say mentally strong. I would say you're mentally strong. No, I'm not just saying this.
Somebody once told me, they were like, "You're really good at setting healthy boundaries," but I think it's actually more that I'm really good at compartmentalizing, which is like a
Yeah.
very Midwestern quality.
Translation, you can
So-
tell somebody to shut the fuck up.
But my thing is like, I'm so cold, I probably wouldn't tell you to shut the fuck
Right.
up. I probably would just kind of make a mental note about you and then like, you know, just treat you accordingly.
Right.
So I'm not a big like get into a huge argument with people, because I'm just sort of like take a big gulp.
Right.
And now I'll never speak with you again, and you
Right.
won't really know why.
Oh, wow, interesting.
You know, I feel like.
Were you always like that, or do you think that became like that over time?
I think I've always had issues with conflict.
Okay.
Probably like issues with like arguing, people arguing. I don't like it.
Okay.
So maybe in that sense, this comes maturity though. I'm sure it comes
Right.
into play too. Like
Right,
a
right.
dish best served
Right,
cold.
right. Yeah, I'm very weird with conflict. I find myself, I avoid it. I try to avoid it at all costs, yet I find myself in it probably 25 times a day. So I think I maybe unconsciously like pursue conflict. As I think I love the smoke, as the young kids say. You know?
Oh, you like the drama?
Not that I like the drama. I like to mix things up if they're too quiet, and you know, I don't know. And I have to, you know what it is? All right, this is kind of sick, but I'll admit this. I have to see a real emotion out of somebody for me to really like them. If somebody's too calm, too cool all the time, that freaks me out.
You know,
not as bad as I used to be, but
I
you know.
cannot stand people. You know those people that are like always smiling, always
Yes,
cheerful, like over the top.
yes,
And they're,
yes.
you know, just like I went to acting school with a girl like that. I know a girl at the Pit who's that way.
Right.
Just like the sweetest person. I just am like, something happened to you.
Right.
Something happened to you that was dark and it made you this way.
Right.
And I don't know if I like it.
Right.
And I don't know if I trust it.
Yeah.
Because no one can be that positive all the time.
Yeah, you're a part of. I call you're in my comedy Stockholm Syndrome group. Because,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you were one of the. I mean, for people listening, you know, you can probably imagine this. When you move to New York, it really sucks, especially if you don't know people here.
Right.
No one's nice to you. There's like that great Mike Birbiglia line about comedy is not recruiting. You know, no, comedy is not recruiting. No one's ever like, hey man, come to this mic, you'll be great.
No,
you know?
no, it's like very much a team of one.
Team of one, and when you're new on the scene, people kind of look at you like, who the hell is this person? Why are they here? Oh my God. And also, let's I just want to paint a picture of New York City in 2008, 2009, because I'm sure you remember this. This is how I remember anyway. UCB was incredibly popular.
Yes.
And this brought with it, like, I wouldn't say that, like, all right, we'll talk about this later in the pod, but like, I always had an image of a comic as like kind of like, not necessarily unhappy, but it's someone that's kind of like fucked up in a specific way, you know? I'm not saying you have to be like that, but...
No, you probably do, in a way, have to be
which
up.
we'll get into that later in the pod, but here, there's some nice benches over here.
Oh, yeah, look at that, lovely.
Look at that, yeah. So we just have to make sure we can cross without getting flattened. But yeah, in 2008, it was so wild because when I first moved here, UCB was so popular that you would meet these, great, yeah. You would meet these like chicks who were like models, and you meet these like handsome like finance bros, and they'd be like, yeah, I'm doing a class at UCB. And it's just like, wow, I didn't know this was like what it was.
Well,
and it was like really popular. And so my point is, like, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so like anyways, nobody's nice to you. There was it was either like you were in like the happy-go-lucky UCB crowd, which obviously I didn't fit in there. So I had to go to places like the Village Lantern. My point is, everyone hated me, no one liked me, and so like there's 5 people that
possibly true.
Not really, but people were indifferent. My point is like
sure.
So you were one of like 5 people that actually like were kind to me and actually like gave me advice. You told me where to go. You told me like, you know, you gave me tips on things.
We met at Alex Barnett's show, right? At the New York Comedy Club, I think.
I think so. I think that's right. So look at this. We got a lovely spot.
Well,
we're rocking and rolling
comedy,
here.
first of all, a lot of those people who take those classes aren't really comedians. They're just trying to like make friends, have an experience.
100%.
They're living their year of yes.
100%.
And then
your year of
comedy,
yes.
improv comedy, it like creates a community.
It does.
And that's not the same as stand-up.
No, it's not. And actually, I'll go take that a step further. Like, I do find people like you and comedians fascinating for other reasons, but I feel like I don't want community. You know, I'm not in this for community. Although, but it is nice knowing, like, it's nice knowing you as many years as I have. You know, it's a weird, it's a paradox. It's for sure a paradox. You know, this is great. Look at this. Nothing beats this park. You know,
it's really true.
Audio came out really good. You'll be shocked on this audio. I just keep saying.
Is that true?
No, I'm just seriously. Let me get out my notes here. Yeah, you'll be shocked at how well the audio comes out. Jeff was adamant about having this little, like the puffy thing on it, which it does make a big difference. So, you know, so that's good.
Jeff Cerulli?
Jeff Cerulli, yeah, he's the one that edits this.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Yeah. He's the one that edits this. Again, another guy that's really never said anything nice in 15 years. So when he finally said something nice, I feel like I had to go with it.
You know what's so funny is when we did the show at Stand Up New York, and you were on stage, everyone was talking about how funny you are.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like laughing because I was like, this is so much nicer than we ever are to his face.
Right. That's right.
You're on stage, everyone's like, Dan's great. Dan's so funny. Dan's really funny. And you get off stage and all we do is give you shit.
That's right. By the way, you enjoying it so far? What's your...
Of the podcast?
Yeah. Couple minutes in, okay? That's good.
So far, so good.
I know how painful this is for you. So, but yeah, so you were one of the people that actually was very nice to me. You were cool, and so I feel like if I live to be 100, I know this is maybe pathetic, some people would say, but like if I live to be 100, I'm like, Steph Holmes is A-okay in my book, because here's the thing, and I know we've said this maybe before, but the older I get in life, the more I use this criteria to evaluate a person, like good person, bad person. How do they treat you when you can't do anything for them?
Oh.
And by that criteria, you're aces in my book, as they say, because you were very nice to me when I could not do anything for you, and that's
I do think
true.
Comedians are really bad that way. Like, they are very like, give me everything, and then the minute you can't do anything for them, they drop you, or
1,000%.
or like they forget about you when they become famous, or.
Oh, by the way,
I see this a lot with my friends who produce shows.
By the way, business is like that too. I work with people. I've worked with people in the past who, the second they sense there's no money in it for them or something, they're like, peace, call this number, I'll see you later.
That's sort of why I've never really been that interested in producing shows. I like to just be the talent, and I don't like to have that like people need something from me or grow
Right.
bitter towards them because they're not helping me out now after I booked them on my show.
Right.
But
It is amazing the scorekeeping that goes on in that realm, right?
oh,
It's amazing.
people don't realize. I don't
It's
think
amazing.
people realize that about comedy, that like there's a lot of spot trading that goes on.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of favors. You know, my cousin, she lived with me for a while, or she lived in New York for a
Oh,
while.
I didn't know this.
My cousin lived in New York for a couple years ago, and she came with me to a lot of my shows, and she said something to me once I thought was really funny. She was like, "Have you ever noticed that like the guy who produces the show is usually the least funny?"
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Yeah, you figured it out.
Oh, that's funny.
How do you think he got a show?"
Yeah, but you know what's funny is that like I do believe in the free market of comedy, if you want to call it that. And when you think about it, though, it makes sense because if you're a go-getter,
Yeah.
that's your that's your currency. You know what I mean? Is that
Yeah.
that's what you bring to the show, is that you can get people, you can produce it.
Well,
and,
I think
you
that
know.
that's what people, that is more important. The longer I do comedy, and I've been doing comedy for 100 years,
Right.
the more I realize that it's like when you start doing comedy, you hate bringer shows, right?
Right.
Because you're like, it's such a scam, they're making
Right,
me bring
yeah.
people. But then it's like, when you're a headliner, why are you the headliner?
Because you're bringing the audience. Exactly.
So it's all
yeah.
one big bringer show. It's
Right.
just about who gets paid. Is it you or the
Right.
producer?
Right.
But,
That's a good point. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you could be really, really funny, but that's not enough.
Yeah. I was talking to Jordan. Sorry, I don't want to get too comedy heavy on this, but I was talking to Jordan
Oh,
Ferber.
that's not what this is?
No,
We're
no.
talking about the biz?
No, yeah. I mean, no, this is great, but I don't want to get too like, you know. But I was talking to Jordan Ferber a little bit yesterday, and he was talking about how he started, and there was some guy like Comedy Treehouse or something that was the first bringer he started with, and he said the guy had a business partner, and the guy had the tapes of the shows, and the guy just skipped town, so no one has the tapes, and it's like, what in the world is he doing with like 2002 comedy? I just think that's like, you know, like, he's
Yeah.
like, you know, this Bernie Madoff who made away with millions, and then there's this guy, you know, there's poor Jordan Ferber who's
Stole my bad jokes. Yeah.
someone's got 2002 Jordan Ferber tapes just sitting on them.
I
Just
had
sitting on 'em,
I had a
you know?
student once who was like so obsessed with joke stealing, and he'd always be like, "Do you think you'd ever steal any of your students' jokes? Like if a student writes a good joke, you wouldn't just take it?" And I was like, "You're paying me to teach you how to be funny. Why would I
Right.
steal your jokes?"
Yeah, it's like buddy, pump the brakes a little bit. You
Yeah.
know? Good stuff. This is great. This is great so far. I'm loving this. I have my notes on you. So, do you regret starting?
Stand up?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Okay.
I love stand up comedy.
Recently, I've been kind of regretting starting a little bit. You know, but not really so much. But what would you be doing if you weren't doing comedy? I guess that's my real question.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to imagine because it is so ingrained in me.
Right.
It's like part of my, it's like being a New Yorker, being a comedian. These are part of my personality, you know?
Right.
But I think I've never been afraid of like speaking out loud, making a fool of myself.
Right.
So I think whatever I would be doing, it would probably be something where I'm talking.
Okay. Okay.
I've got the gift of gab.
Ah, but you avoid conflict. Isn't that fascinating, right? You know?
I do try to avoid
know, yeah,
conflict,
yeah.
which I think can be tough sometimes for other people in my life, people who love me, because, you know, it's like when I'm mad at you, I'll just stop talking.
Right.
And then I'm not answering your texts, and I just make it like worse. But
Okay. That is interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like, just to tell the audience, last summer, actually, pretty much a year ago this month, I went on a one-man road trip through the Midwest, you know, hanging out with my brother and stuff.
remember that.
Yeah, I know, I texted you. I think I freaked you out with the text. And I went through your old hometown of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I feel like I understood you a lot more because I'd never been to Indiana before. And I don't want to, I know this is like an easy joke to make, but like I was at a Panera Bread or something in Fort Wayne. I wanted an everything bagel. They didn't have it.
They don't have those.
They didn't have it, but I think the woman's like, but I think we have cinnamon raisin. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll take a cinnamon raisin. Hold on. And she has to go to the back, talk. Basically, it was 20 minutes deciding if I could get the cinnamon raisin or not. And again, you know, very nice people. I'm not crapping on the state at all. I'm certainly not going to base it on a Panera Bread in Fort Wayne, but
Yeah,
but
don't judge us off our Panera.
but I get why you left, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to go back.
Right.
It's not like I miss it or have like a bunch of hometown pride. where
Right,
Something
yeah.
good happens in Indiana and I'm like, yeah, go Indiana. Or,
Right,
Indiana
right.
votes for Trump and I'm like, I'm just so disappointed in you guys.
Right.
It's like, it's just, I don't feel that
You have no
anymore.
connection anymore.
I I have some family there. I go back
Right.
and visit sometimes. I think Fort Wayne has like a really interesting culture. You know, there are just like little inside jokes or things you'd only know if you're
Okay.
from Fort Wayne. So that's fun to have
Give
that.
me a Fort Wayne inside.
I think everybody my age knows about Happy the Hobo, which was like a children's television show in Fort Wayne where
Like a local Fort Wayne only show.
he was a
Wow.
hobo clown and he would like do segments in between
Oh, I
cartoons.
love this. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. How have we never talked about this before? That's hysterical.
It's very
Is
specific.
he still alive?
There were many Happy the Hobos, but yeah,
Oh,
he's still, I
wow.
believe he's still alive.
He was like a Soupy Sales or one of these guys, you know? Like,
Kind of like, yeah, where my husband's from in Ohio, they had like a Ghoulardi the Ghoul.
oh, that was Paul Thomas Anderson's father.
Yeah, and it was like the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
kind of idea. It's like a children's host who brings
Okay.
in cartoons.
Okay. Yeah, I watched those Ghoulardi videos when I heard about it because I love P.T. Anderson and
So funny.
and I thought it was kind of weird. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I didn't really get it, you know?
Well, it's like, you know, comedy doesn't age well. And
No, it
so,
really doesn't.
Like, you know, it's like when you watch, I don't know. I remember years ago, I was like, I'm going to watch all the old Smothers Brothers. I don't know
Right.
what the hell they were talking about.
Right.
But it's like, because every joke was like specific to what was happening in politics that week.
Right. You had to Google, you know, Dan Quayle or
Yeah.
whomever.
Dan Quayle, that was before that. I
Not
had
before
to
that. You had to
Google
Google
Spiro Agnew.
Spiro Agnew. That's right.
So yeah, when I was growing up, I always felt like I was bigger than where I was from, and people who know me would tell you that too. That just
Right.
like you could tell from a very early age
That's
that I like
amazing.
wasn't gonna live there.
Having been there though is like pretty wild that you would be able to amass that for yourself. If that makes
I was
sense.
just reading this autobiography by Charles Bush. You know who he is? He's like
No.
he's like a playwright, drag
Okay,
queen.
okay.
And he says that the most eccentric people he's ever met in his life have all been from Indiana.
Okay, I feel that way about Michigan, but not in a good way though. But Michigan, so maybe yeah, interesting. I like that because I just think if I take the 100 weirdest people I've ever met in my life, like 60 are from Michigan. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just different reasons. You believe in God?
No.
Really? Always or recently?
I think deep down always, but I tried to be religious. When I was growing up in Indiana, I would go to church and I really tried to force myself to believe it, but you know, logic and reason.
It's like when you're a kid, because like, you know, we both have kids, we're both parents. That's the reason I wanted you to be on this podcast because like when your kid comes to you, I'm sure at some point he's going to say, hey. you know,
if he spends time with my family in Indiana,
Right,
he's
right,
gonna
like-
be like, who's Jesus Christ?
yeah, have you thought about like how you're going to have that talk or what you're going to say or?
Yeah, I kind of think that I'm just gonna be like, it's just a nice story.
Wow. So you'll burst the bubble.
It's just a nice story. My son isn't growing up with any religion, but of course he'll, you know, be exposed to it. And when he
Right.
asks about it, I'll be honest and I'll just say that, you know, we're atheists, that
Right.
we don't subscribe to any of that. All we really believe in is just being good people. And I think that these stories are were created with good intention.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't.
I like that.
I don't believe it. I think I'll take it one step further,
Ooh,
Dan.
I love that.
I think everything in this world is just random, and that
I think so
life is sort
too.
of meaningless.
I think so too, which freaks me out because my mom, you know, was killed very randomly.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me like, wow, is there any meaning to anything? It didn't change my beliefs or anything like that, but I do think like,
But like, I guess if that had happened, I could see why you would feel that way. But then I hate when things like that happen and people go, "Wow, this was a reason. There was a reason behind this."
That's
Like,
what
God
Jordan
took
said
her up to
yesterday.
heaven for a
Yes,
reason. That would make me
yes.
so fucking mad.
yes. No.
Jordan said that.
Jordan said that he hates like it's a part of God's plan or something. you
Oh
know?
yeah.
So what was wild? You know, he's seen a medium, which was wild. How do you feel about mediums?
I don't believe in that.
I don't believe in that either. But his take on mediums, though, made a lot of sense.
I think that people are desperate to speak to their dead relatives. I
Right,
am.
right.
I would love for my Nana to come from the afterlife and say something to me, and I'm so desperate for that I will believe it, or I'll make
Right.
myself believe it, but I don't. Well, I mean, Houdini proved it's not true, right?
Right, with the word.
Well, yeah, exactly. So
By
it's
the way,
like,
can I give you a word if I die
Yeah.
before you? We'll have to make
okay,
up a
don't
word.
say it on the air though.
You can't say it on the air.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
it'll have to be something really That's pretty crazy, like 50 years from now, if we like lose touch, like my great grandchildren will be coming after you, like, hey, I heard you got a word.
Laser jet.
Oh, give me five. Oh my God, that's great. Jesus, hysterical. Laser jet.
No, I don't believe. You know what? I don't even believe in karma.
Wow.
I love the idea of karma, but that's why it's like.
Wait, you don't believe it because you've seen too many examples of it not working?
Exactly.
Right.
Why would karma possibly be true? It would be great because it's so satisfying, and when things do happen that way, you love it.
Right.
But I don't think any of it's real, and I think that in a way inspires me to be more, because I don't know if I think that I don't think there's anything after this. I think you only have one life to live. I think everything is really random and that you could go at any second.
Right.
And so you just have to live every day to the fullest.
Right. Well, I do believe in, I don't know if karma is the right, I do believe in like organic karma in the sense of like, if you're a schmuck and people hate you.
I hope that's true.
And then,
yeah.
but I'm saying, like, let's say like you're just an unlikable prick.
Yeah.
And then you're in a time of need and they're like, F you. Or vice versa, if people love you and you're in a time of being in the so that I do believe in, like, that you can prove.
Like consequence.
Consequence,
karma.
yes.
I agree.
Yes, okay.
I agree. The only thing I really believe in is hard work.
Such a Midwestern thing, right?
I really don't think that I've seen any proof of anything else, but
Right.
hard work does pay off.
Well, I think there's nothing more random than the success of than comedy, right? I mean, we've talked about.
I don't
this,
think that if you're a complete like slacker fuck up, you're going to be able to make it in comedy,
Right.
because you're going to screw up all your opportunities.
Right.
And even if you are like a pretty good person, or or a hard worker, people self-sabotage
Right,
all
that's
the
true too,
time.
that's true too, yeah.
But I think that there are many things that go into being a successful comedian.
That's right.
And then luck is also a big part.
That's right.
Like, you're not going to make it if you're not funny. You're not going to make
That's
it if
right.
you don't work hard. You're not going to make it if you don't have a cool look. But
Right.
you also need to have all those things, and then that luck.
Yes. Well, do we talk about Brendan Schaub? Did we talk about this or no?
I don't know if I know who that is.
So when I was a freshman in college at the University of Colorado at Boulder, the tight end on the football team was this guy, Brendan Schaub.
Okay.
Big guy, like 6'6", 6'7", doesn't make the NFL, blows out his knee, whatever. Tries to do Ultimate Fighting, doesn't make that either. But this is like 2005, talking about. So in 2006, he tries out for MMA, doesn't get the whatever happens, and who does he meet calling the match? Joe Rogan. And so he becomes a Roganite, and now this guy is a headlining comedian on the road because he's in that sphere, And is he funny? I don't really know, but my point is, like, if you would have told me back when I was doing comedy in Colorado that Brendan Schaub would be probably the most famous comedian that I indirectly know, I would have said, "What are you, nuts?" That's what I'm saying about the randomness of it.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
get
always
that.
great that we're in the background of these like video calls people have here. It's always amazing. I just have to, like, there's that new. Have you seen that new AI like Fitbit? You know what I'm talking about? It's like this new AI thing people wear that basically records everything you say, and that the idea is that it listens back and it gives you speaking tips. I'm not really sure, but it's like,
Some people could use that.
for sure, but it's like, you're recorded at all times now, is what it feels like, which I kind of don't like that. I don't know. Jeff's like that too. He doesn't like being,
Like an Alexa.
Yes.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it either. Well, I'm in a real debate. I'm in a real pickle on this. You know about this Luckin Coffee?
No.
Okay, so what does a nice coffee go for now? $6, $7?
Yeah.
So the Starbucks of China is this company, Luckin. They just opened right by my job. $1.75 iced coffees. So it's like literally less than half the price of everybody else.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, great. There's one caveat. You have to order on their frickin' app. So it's like they want to, you know what I mean? It's like they only take payment. You have to go on the app. So it's like the paranoid part of me is like, they're gonna like stealing my shit. You know what I mean? Like they want to get access to my.
Is there something underneath my?
There's nothing. I don't see anything. No, all good. Yeah. False alarm.
Okay, go ahead.
The paranoid part of me is like, yeah, I want the cheap iced coffee, but I'm giving up my personal data to the Chinese government. Is how I feel. Am I being unreasonable?
I think that they probably already have it.
You're right.
I was, in comedy, you're always meeting people. And I met this guy in tech once, and I told him the story about how my job had accidentally, at my job, we had this HR person very briefly who gave everyone's like W-2s away to like a scammer.
Oh God.
And I was like, oh my God, this website, these people have my social security number or whatever. And I was talking to some tech guy at a bar and he was like, they've already got it.
They've already got it.
Download TikTok, it's fine.
So you're saying just get the Luckin Coffee?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, you're right. That's my favorite Artie Lang joke when he goes, he's like talking about signing a prenup, how he doesn't want to do it. And he's like, I think the punchline was, what are you trying to protect? Your signed Tony Siragusa helmet? It's like, what are they, I just love that. That kills me every time, Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. Back to the Future 2 or 3?
Ooh, oh God. Wow, I didn't know this was going to be hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. There is something that I really love about Back to the Future 2 that they really think that we would still be using fax machine technology.
Okay.
There's something that's like so funny about that.
By the way, that's every sci-fi movie. There's paper and there's cigarette smoking. Have you noticed that? Like Alien 2. You name it, like there's so many sci-fi films where they smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I find that's fascinating. It's like you think that would have, that's really never going away.
I mean, celebrities used to love to smoke.
Yeah.
So then they would do it in movies and
interviews,
everything. So Back to the Future 2 or 3, I think I'm going to be controversial and say 2. I bet you most people are going to say 3.
Everybody said 3, and I got to say, that shocked me. I thought 2 all the way. Yeah, I thought 2 all the way.
I like 2. I like when he wakes up in the strange person's, or in the bedroom, and it's like not his room.
Yeah.
And I like, what is it, like 2 oak has become like 1 oak, and the futuristic like Biff world. That's like,
He's
sort
a comedian,
of very
that
Trump.
guy. He was at the Comedy Store, that guy.
Yes,
Biff.
Tom Wilson, I believe his name is. Yeah. But my mother, she had a huge crush on Michael J. Fox when I was growing up. I guess she still does. Actually, I think she doesn't anymore, and I think that's a little bit discriminatory.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. He gets Parkinson's, and you're just gonna dump him. But we watched Back to the Future a lot when I was growing up. A lot.
It's a great movie. I love it.
It's one of my. I mean, it's definitely in my top 10.
Can I hear the other one?
Ooh. Well, it's a lot of gay stuff, like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, The Birdcage. It's probably
great
my
film.
best. You know what my favorite movie I think of all time is The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton. I think it's a perfect film from beginning to end.
I've never seen that. I've got to watch that now.
Oh my God, you've never seen that?
I've never seen that. No, I've seen Birdcage. That was filmed in Miami, right now where I'm from,
Yeah, no, I think The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas is just like, it's just a really good movie. They don't take themselves too seriously. They sing and dance, which is always good for me. I prefer a movie that singing and dancing happens.
Okay.
Because I want my life to be a musical. I wish that was I hate when people go, oh, I don't like musicals because you're just in the middle of something and then everyone breaks out in song and that's not real life.
Right,
That's what real life should be.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. That's not real life, and that's what's fucked up, not the movie.
Right. Okay. I love the music in Rocky Horror.
Yes.
Time Warp, great song.
Yes.
My father was a big Meatloaf guy growing up.
Oh, yeah.
And those albums, that first Bad at Hell album was just, and the second one too was just, some of the songs on there were just amazing.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
He was great.
I love the lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky Horror is a great movie. It's bad too.
Right.
It's I've seen it in the theater, the midnight showings.
You've done that
a
million times. Right.
To the point where I think I've lost friends because they're
wow.
like, I don't want to do this with you anymore, Stephanie.
Oh, wow.
Fine.
Is that still a thing? People still do it?
They were doing it at the Chelsea Clearview that then became like a bow tie, that then became like a
I remember that, yes.
I don't know if they do it anymore. I'm not sure.
Okay, I vividly remember that. That's wild.
There's like a police brigade coming by.
Police brigade. That'd be funny if we both got arrested during the podcast, right? That'd be great.
It would be good for you, for ratings.
Is this Joe Biden right here? What is this?
I doubt it, very seriously.
What police brigade is coming by Central Park at this time of day? Like, who's in there? I don't know.
It's probably some, like, consulate or diplomat.
Right. you ever have a moment in your life, in comedy especially, when you're like, this is going to happen for me? I can tell you mine when you tell me yours. When you felt like, oh wow, this could happen, like I have a real, you know. Any highlight like that or no?
Yeah, I've had good moments in my career. I guess.
And by the way, for those listening that don't know Steph is fucking hilarious, but like, you know.
I am very funny.
You know, very funny comic. I've said this for years. So, I mean, that's just, you know, just an aside that, you know, if you're listening and you don't know that, but check out her stuff.
I think, like, you know, in the New York Comedy Festival, they had that contest, the New York's Funniest.
Ooh.
I was in the finals of that twice, and I felt like, wow, this is good because I beat like a lot of other people to be here. But then I think I was so young and I was so intimidated by all the other like people who I was a finalist with that I thought like, how can I compete against them? And I maybe was in my head too much.
Okay.
But I felt like if I look back at my career, I felt like when I was at that stage where I was like doing really well in comedy festivals and people thought I was like hot shit, I should have been out there grinding more, like at clubs being seen, and instead I was like still hanging out at my like local open mic at Queens, like paying other people to do comedy and not getting paid. You know?
Right.
And then I've just had some like really great gigs, like you know, when I opened for Jim Norton, that was like a really cool weekend. Or I did the show at Caroline's once for CoverGirl, and Aisha Tyler was the headliner.
Oh wow, that's cool. I like that.
And that was like pretty fun. So there are definitely moments that I look back on and I'm like, I should have been. I think what happens is you get some big opportunity, like you're in a cool festival or a show, or you're getting a buzz around you, and then you need to kind of be annoying and be pushing yourself out there on like at like all the clubs, and I wasn't doing that.
Yes.
And so that I think is something that, you know, would be my advice to those listening.
Okay.
You know, don't get too comfortable.
Well, I think in this like world of AI that we're living in, like, I don't know, maybe like, in like my darkest thoughts, I'm like, maybe comedy is like the only thing, or like any kind of like live performance will be like the only thing kind of left, in that like you can't like code that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, luckily for us, like AI is not funny. AI has never produced a funny joke.
Not at all. Yeah.
But I guess as it gets smarter, it will one day. But it's not going to be able to be funny off the fly like that.
That's amazing though about your AI, like, is like your therapist. Like I was watching this interview with Paul Stanley of Kiss, who, you know, I have like a love-hate thing with, and Billy Corgan has a podcast now from the Pumpkins. He's actually a really good interviewer, which is shocking to me because I thought he was kind of a prick over the years, but he seems like he's maybe mellowed out.
Yeah, he does seem like a prick.
Yeah, and he asked AI like, who are the top 10 American rock bands, and it doesn't say Kiss, and he's like talking about this with Paul Stanley, and apparently the AI said, well, why isn't Kiss in the top 10? And then AI said something like, well, their theatrics were too much or something. I'm like, wow,
that's an opinion.
That's an opinion. And it's like, you and I are pretty shrewd. You and I can describe, but my fear is, you know, we have small kids, like 10 years from now, they're gonna be like, Mom, Dad, you know, the computer said this. And it's like, well that's not, you know, said that, that Tom Cruise is the most handsome man alive. I don't know, you get what I'm saying. So,
no, yeah, you're totally right.
That scares me a little bit. You know?
It's a little scary.
Yeah, right.
But if it can improve the way people, you know, talk and write, then I think that might be good.
Could you have seen yourself in the military?
No.
No, right, no.
First of all, I don't think that I have been alive for any sort of war or conflict that I've agreed with.
Right, okay. That's probably a big one.
Though I think I told you this when I was living in Indiana and I was in high school, you know, that's when 9/11 happened, that's when I roared.
Right.
I was for the war in Iraq. We're talking about 16-year-old Stephanie.
Yeah.
But I was like, they've got weapons of mass destruction. And I think that whole experience, and a lot of people our age, I think that experience kind of showed them that like the government lies.
Right.
Like that was my first experience with the government really like lying to me. But no, I don't think I have the discipline. I don't want to do it. I've never shot a gun, or I'm just not.
Right.
That's not me.
Not you.
You think you could have been in the military?
Yes, I think about that in my darkest thoughts, that I should have done that instead of what I'm doing. Not for any reason other than...
I could see you in the uniform. Yeah,
just think
in
that
a-
like
a Marine.
I do have discipline, and I think life is very boring, and I think like back to like the controversy thing, or the conflict thing, as we hear like a military helicopter going over right now. This is my audio effect I have edited in here, right? But I think as the I think I do a lot of things out of just complete boredom, and I think that I think sometimes I'm very bored in life, and I think the military, when you think about it, that's really the most extreme thing that you can do. And I would have done it if not even for the story, just to say that I did it kind of a thing. And that's the whole, back to like the God thing. You ever heard that expression, there's no atheists in foxholes?
Well, that's because I guess, okay. That's because it's ingrained in you from childhood.
100%.
Like, I'm an atheist, but I compromise with God, air quotes,
Right.
and because it's like something that's so deep in you.
Right.
Maybe my son won't because I didn't raise him that way. But
Right.
it's like, I think religion is I was going to say well-intended, but I don't even know if that's true.
Right.
I think that people who are religious are well-intended. They just are trying to be good people and find purpose in life.
Right.
But I think that religion has done some bad things for people.
100%. 100%. But my point is, like, that's why I'll never say I'm an atheist, because I logically know there isn't a God.
Yeah.
But the second, if God forbid, I'm ever diagnosed with like a cancer, or I'm in a plane
then
that's
you're
going
going to become really religious.
Oh, 100. I'll be the first guy in the shul, 100%. Because what else can you do?
It's like people who become sober.
So let's talk about that. I don't like to voice. All right.
We are comedians of a certain age. Possible tour name. Write
Right,
that down.
okay.
Comedians of a certain
I like
age.
that, okay.
And I think so we're at this age now where like a lot of the comedian friends that we know are sober.
Yes.
Getting sober.
So, okay, here's the thing with that. I think that, sorry for going off on a rant about this, and full disclosure, so I have a close friend that I grew up with that became a heroin addict. I don't know if we've talked about this ever. He OD'd he relapsed at my wedding, which was a whole nother story.
Oh God,
Yeah,
way to make it about you. What a friend.
So, I mean, I don't really speak with him much anymore, but my point is, like, I'm very divided. Okay, good. I think we finally hit on a nerve that we can talk about to get this, for this interview. I'm very divided on the whole rehab thing, because a part of me thinks, much like religion, hey, if it works for you, great, who cares? But I see it cover up and mask a lot of things. Like, have you heard that term dry drunk?
No.
A dry drunk is basically someone that's got all the functions and behaviors of an alcoholic. They're just not drinking. So like they're the same. They lie, they yell, they whatever. So I feel like what we really create, what has been created with this whole AA nonsense is the dry drunk stuff. Because my buddy, I should say my former friend, so sorry for going off in a million directions, but he would have the same thing. He would relapse. He was very wealthy. Parents would send him away to some expensive rehab in Palm Springs, you know what I mean? Which, by the way, I always thought of the great, that Sam Kinison bit about that, or I love that joke, but anyways. So he would go to some like fancy schmancy rehab, clean up for 6 months, do the steps. One of the steps is the apology, right? You make amends. I get the phone call after not hearing from 2 years. Hey man, it's so-and-so. I'm not gonna say his name on the show. Hey man, it's so-and-so. I just wanna say I'm sorry again about the wedding and yada yada. And it's like, at a certain, he did this now like 3 times. And at a certain point, it's like, are you sorry, or are you just like checking a box so you can go on to the next step? And my point is like, but he would still like lie about a lot of stuff. Like, it's like, I'm a very forgiving person. Like, it takes a lot for me to be like, I've only really cut off one person in my life. I mean, we both know who that is, but I think that person's not doing better. But, like it takes a lot for me to get there. Like, like Paul Stanley, or the guy that I was telling you about from Kiss. He has this line about when someone's drowning, you throw them a rope. When they try to pull you under, you cut them loose. And so, this guy, so thankfully, no one's really tried to pull me under, so to speak. But the rehab. Yeah, sorry.
To the point about your friend, right? I think that you can't really get sober unless you want it, right?
Right.
So your friend's family is paying for him to get sober. That's not going to do it. He's got to want to be sober.
That's right.
Also, I think probably like drugs should just be legal.
You think that?
Probably. I mean, I think that you should be able to do what you want to do, and you know, whatever. But also, I don't have a problem with people getting sober. What I don't like is when they're like preachy and like over the top about it. But then again, I think it's a compulsion, like doing drugs, drinking, it's compulsive behavior. And so when you are like obsessive compulsive that way, you're just taking it from one thing and putting it onto something else.
Yes, it's like a lot of these like marathon people are all former addicts. It's like you've just replaced one thing for another.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, someone would say, all right, better to be a extreme runner than to do crack, obviously, but it's I don't know. I see what you're saying too, but
I got a fresh direct order on Saturday night, and the guy, like, when he delivers the food to my apartment, he goes, he's like, there's a guy smoking crack in your lobby.
Oh.
This just goes to show you what a New Yorker I am. He goes, there's a guy smoking crack in your lobby, and he like leaped at me, and I went, oh. Okay, well, good luck. And I just like shut the door. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Go down there and fight the crackhead?
Was it actual crack?
I have no idea. I didn't go down there and look.
Oh God.
I was just like, well.
Oh, it's so sketchy.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. New York has gotten pretty weird in the last couple of years, and there's been a couple of weird incidents.
You think it's different post-COVID?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think the train is different. I think just in my building alone, there have been like a lot of weird incidents. Like somebody broke into my building a couple months ago and was in the middle of the night was just like beating on people's doors, like just like banging on people's doors. Like, okay,
That's
like
horrifying.
Yeah, just weird stuff like that. So I think the city has definitely changed. What bothers me is it's like, I actually wouldn't have a problem with how horrible the city has gotten if everything was affordable.
That's what makes me nuts.
Like, it's like, so like there's a guy on the train and he's stabbing people. Now
Right.
our rent should go down like $500.
Right, yes. That's why I hate Brooklyn. That's my least favorite borough, because every time I go there, I'm like, it should be like half the price of Manhattan, and it's not. It's like more expensive. That's why Brooklyn makes me nuts, but that's a separate point.
Well, Brooklyn used to be fun.
Yeah.
Like Williamsburg, that area. That when I first moved to the city, that area was like a blast, and
Right.
But now it's just like too touristy or something. It's like Times Square.
Yeah, my big thing with Brooklyn is I just feel like, especially being a parent now, I feel like Williamsburg especially is really like a never land for like people that don't want to grow up, essentially. And I just feel like the second I get off that L train, they can just like smell it on me that I'm just like a corporate guy. Even though I'm really not, you know what I mean? They're like, you don't belong here, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I feel like they can just sense it on me. I don't look the part. I don't talk the part. I don't dress the part. And I know it's like, I don't know. It's just, I can't explain it. It's such like it's such an odd place. I'm such a square peg in a round hole there. Every time I go there, it gives me the creeps, and I'm there all the time, which sucks. So.
For work?
Yeah, work, or just friends that have lived there, or whatever. Plus, I think in like another life, I would have been like in like the wife beater on the corner of like Avenue J, talking about it, at the pizzeria, complaining about how the neighborhood's gone to shit, This has been great.
Where's your list?
The list. Oh, I think I dropped it on the floor.
You did a whole.
I had a whole thing about the list, and now I can't find it, and I didn't want to lose momentum on the show, because I think it's somewhere in my pocket maybe, or I don't know. I'll have to find it at some point.
This is crazy.
Yeah. I know, but I did remember a lot of the things I put on it though. Do you have like a 5-year plan? Are you that calculated?
I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. I'm not as bad as I used to be. I used to like panic at the idea of something like that. Like my friend Megan O'Malley, do you know her?
I think I know that name. Yeah.
She has a party like every New Year's Day where people get together and they make vision boards.
Okay.
And that is like my nightmare, to put my dreams on a board and then share it with the class. No way.
Okay.
But I'm better than I used to be, but no, I don't have a 5-year plan. I guess I probably should move because I live in a 1-bedroom apartment and I have a kid.
Right.
But I'm not. For a person who moved to New York when she was 18 years old, I'm not that great at like making decisions and change.
Right.
I've been with my now husband for 18 years.
Wow.
I've
God
lived
bless.
in New York for 21 years.
Wow.
I've worked at the place that I work for like 19 years.
Wow.
I've been doing comedy that long. So it's like
You're a creature of habit.
I commit.
Yeah.
I'm good at commitment.
Yeah. Well, that's why another reason I have a lot of respect for you. Not to wax your car too much on this.
No,
but
please.
You moved here not knowing, much like me. I didn't fucking know anybody when I moved here.
No. Well, I moved here to go to school. It's a little easier that way.
For sure, but I see you as like, you're very much self-made here, was my point. Like,
yeah.
You didn't have an uncle that was, a VP somewhere that could get you a job.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
that'd be nice.
I'm just
People
saying.
People don't realize how many stand-up comedians are like rich.
I've said this. Me and Brian McGinnis.
People
so I know
do
you know.
not know
I
this.
talk about
People
this.
listening to this podcast need to know
Yes.
that there's a lot of comedians out there and they're performing for no money at all.
That's correct.
And they're doing it every night.
That's
and
correct.
They're dedicating their day and night to it. And how can they do that?
That's correct.
Because they're living off daddy's money.
That's correct. Most
they're
comedians.
good at the stock market.
That's right.
Or whatever.
Or I should say, like, you're not getting the full story. I always say, like,
That's very New York, but especially in comedy. And then improv comedy.
Oh,
forget
about.
it.
Oh my God.
They're millionaires.
It might as well be like the Plaza Hotel is like improv comedy.
You can pay to take 5 levels of improv.
Oh!
You must be rich.
Oh, 100%.
You must be.
If you had to, all right, wrapping up here.
And then they're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
You spend all that money just for fun?
Just like wrapping up here. Do you care about fame?
I don't think. It's tough. Do I care about fame? I don't think that being famous looks fun, but I'd like to be more known than I am because.
So recognition.
Yeah, like, I look at like people like. Some of my idols like Kathy Griffin or Maria Bamford, they have like really specific fans. I would say that they're probably not getting like harassed when they walk down the street, but they have a fan base, and that's what's really important for comedians, to build a fan base. So if you're out there listening, follow me on Instagram.
Okay. That's why that's one of the things about comedy that really appealed to me, actually, was like comedy fame. Like when I was brand new in comedy back in Miami, I got to host for this guy, Brett Ernst, who's like a well-known comic from LA. And he did a show at the Miami Improv. I got to host for him. And, like 300 people, he did really well, he killed, super nice guy. And we went to like some bar afterward, and he was just like this anonymous guy at the bar, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I like that about, it's like you're famous in that moment, and then you can go to the mall, you know what I mean? I like that. I don't need to be like,
Oh, you know what really gets me off is like after a show, when someone comes up and they say that they really liked me or that I was the funniest, and then like other comedians hear it. Oh, that's the best feeling in the world.
I'll tell you, I'm going to top that.
And I always love it because like usually I'm the only girl on the show, so I'll just usually say some joke about how I'll be like, well, it's hard for men to be funny.
That's hysterical. I'm going to top that. When I was at one of those times I was hanging out with you like 2 or 3 years ago, a woman came up to me at the Red Eye Grill and said, hey, I'm from Ohio, whatever. I was here, like I saw you at Gotham like 7 years ago. I liked that one joke you did. And I'm like, lady, I'm going to live on this for the next 25 years.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, but
I've been recognized like in the subway before. Like people be like, oh, I saw you at the Village Lantern or whatever. And I'll be like, oh my God, I'm famous.
Is that okay? Look, just a couple last questions, then I promise we're done. Women in comedy. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Do you feel like there needs to be more representation? Is there adequate representation? Because it is an advantage in the sense of like you said, like you're usually the only woman on a show.
Okay, I think that the reason that there are less women in comedy is because women are smarter, and so I think there's something about like doing comedy for a really long time, being in cars with sweaty dudes and making no money and being out late that like women eventually just get sick of. You either make it or you're like, I'm gonna move on. And that's not as much with guys.
Okay.
But I think there's fair representation. I think there's a lot of really funny female comedians out there.
It's gotten bigger over the years too.
Oh yeah. And like different voices and different styles. Yeah, I think that, women have to support each other in all fields, not just stand-up. And sure, there's sexism in stand-up, just like there's sexism all over.
Right, 100%, yeah.
But you just have to, I think with the Me Too movement and wokeness and people being
Right.
more aware of stuff. Like, when I first started doing comedy, I was really young and really naive, and I think that guys would get away with inappropriate things because they would be like, you want to be one of the boys,
Right.
you want to be, you take a joke,
Right,
you know?
right.
And now I think that there's a culture of women can just speak up for themselves freely
Right.
and just say you're a perv or
Yeah,
fuck off
yeah.
or make fun of and I think that maybe I feel that way more because I'm, older, I'm almost 40, but also maybe it's just the culture that's changed.
Okay.
too.
Okay. I like that.
But
This has been great.
yeah.
Last question.
Oh, okay.
So God. So the devil, the comedy devil, comes to you in the middle of the night. They say, Steph, all right.
Oh, wait, I want to say something
Yeah.
that reminded me of something. Just another reason that I am like so sure that there is no
Yeah.
God is because as a comedian, I have asked Satan to come to me and I will sign my name in his book. So many times I have looked down to hell and I
my
have said,
God.
Satan, come up here.
Well, why do you think that comes from
Promise
below
me-
and not above?
Promise me fame and fortune, and I will sign my name in blood,
Oh,
and
my
nothing ever
God.
happens. Well, I think, God's never going like, hey, if you sign your name in my book, I'm going to give you everything you want, but that's the devil's
That's
promise.
hysterical. So the comedy devil comes to you and says,
Okay.
all right, Steph, we'll do like the genie in the bottle thing. I'm going to grant you one comedy wish. Only one. What would it be? Could be like, just give us some examples, like HBO special,
I
MSG,
think
whatever.
ultimately what I would like is, I think if the God or the devil or whoever, I'm trying to think of like who comedy God would be. The ghost of Al Martin comes to me. No, I think
it's
what
hysterical.
I ultimately would really like is to just have a stage to perform on that I like in a full room full of people who enjoy me.
Okay, but come on, but like a milestone, I mean, like come on, you have to pick one, you can have one, but because you do that now anyway though. I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess, okay, I'd like to be on Howard Stern.
Wow,
Right? Don't you
that's one of
think?
mine too.
That's the ultimate.
Oh, I love that.
I was like, do I want to be on late night television? Do I want a special? And it's like,
Right.
no, I really want Howard Stern to ask me my bra size.
Oh my
that
God.
would be the ultimate.
Oh my God, I love that answer. That's amazing. Well, this has been great.
Always
and on
a
the high note,
pleasure,
always a
yeah.
pleasure. Thank you for doing this. Hope it wasn't too painful.
Questions, no awkward moments, right? Okay. Damn pod. You'll think I have something.